reviewing the Abigail 2 Underbust Corset made by Sugarkitty Corsets. So here's the front, the side, the back, and the other side. I should preface this by saying that although this corset is custom made, it wasn't custom made specifically for me. I actually bought this secondhand from somebody else. So this sort of silhouette is highly customized. If you do not like the aesthetic of having an extremely nipped in waist like you see here, then obviously Sugarkitty Corsets can give you a more gentle hourglass silhouette, or can give you a silhouette with a more conical rib cage if you don't like this certain style. So this corset gave me my first experience of having such an extreme, dramatic, nipped in waist like this, an extreme modern hourglass shape with rounded ribs. And I have to say that I can take extremely deep breaths in this. Like, I can feel my floating ribs can still move in this style of corset, and I find that I'm able to lace down slightly smaller in these style of corsets compared to corsets with a more conical rib cage, because this I find is less demanding on my body personally. I should also note that Sugarkitty Corsets is retiring from making corsets at the end of this year, so you have until January 1st to get any orders in if you would like a commission from her. So here's the Sugarkitty corset on the table, and it doesn't even want to lay flat. It's impossible for it to lay flat. But for the materials of this, because this has a fashion fabric of twill, then I believe it's 2 main layers, because there's twill on the outside and twill on the inside, and if I try to feel within the layers, it feels as though I can rub just two layers of fabric together. However, the outside fabric feels a lot thicker, so I'm wondering if it might have been fused for strength or smoothness, or it might have some sort of interfacing on it. And here's what the Sugarkitty tag looks like. So you can see the logo here, and on the underside it is actually a silver metallic thread. For the pattern of this corset, I was very surprised to find out that it only had a 5-panel pattern, because of the way that it sort of behaves on my body and molds around curves and gives me that crazy little nipped in waist. It behaves as if it was a corset with at least 6 panels, maybe 7 or 8. But you can count 5 panels here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see that the back is quite straight. It has a nice big panel in the back that gives a lot of support. It comes up quite high, and these 3 panels in the center here have really tiny nipped in waists at the very middle, which helps to contribute to the shape that it gives. For the actual construction and assembly of this corset, it looks like it was assembled using the sandwich method. So the bones are sandwiched in between the 2 layers here. There's lock stitching along each one of these panels. Even in the areas where I can see there's a high amount of tension right around the waist, the stitching is very, very tiny in between these 2 layers. I can't even see any open space between the stitches between these panels. And turning to the inside of the corset, which you might not have noticed because it's the same fabric as the outside, but I do see an outline of a waist tape running through the center of this corset here. So it's sandwiched in between the 2 layers, but you might be able to see the outline of the bottom part right there going across. And here's a close-up of the binding. It's made from bias strips of matching black twill, and it is machine sewn on the outside and also on the inside here. There are no garter tabs in this corset at all. This corset does have a Modesty panel in the back. This was a paid upgrade, and it is stiffened with 3 bones going down the center here, and suspended on the laces using these grommets. And if I stick some paper underneath like this to give contrast, you can actually see that the Modesty panel is contoured. So it's slightly more narrow at the waist than it is at the top and the bottom. And this makes for a really comfortable experience when I'm lacing down. So the center here is 4 inches wide, and then the top is closer to 5 inches wide, as well as the bottom. Additionally, there is a 1-inch wide unstiffened Modesty placket on the knob side of the busk here. This particular busk is 10 inches long, and it has 5 pins equidistantly spaced. It is a standard flexible busk, so it's 1/2 inch on each side, and it has another flat steel bone on either side of the busk to further reinforce it. Now, this busk is a little bit short on me, but obviously this corset wasn't made for me. It was made for another woman whose torso is about 3 to 4 inches shorter than mine. So obviously it's not going to fit me as if it were you know, a piece that I had commissioned firsthand. When I wear this corset, I notice that there is a lot of bowing. There's a lot of dishing. So what I would probably do is just sew on a little placket underneath the busk with using like a carbon fiber bone, which is very, very difficult to bend at all. But I wanted to show how this corset looked, obviously as is, how it was originally made. This corset is quite heavily boned. It actually has a total of 24 bones, not including the busk. It's double boned on the seams, and actually this corset has an additional boning upgrade. So instead of having the typical 1/4 inch spirals, this actually has 1/2 inch wide spirals. So there's actually very little space around the waistline that doesn't have a bone. So on the seams here, you can see 2, 4, 6, 8. All these are 1/2 inch wide spiral steel bones. There is another, I believe that is a smaller flat bone adjacent to the bones that are sandwiching the grommets, and then there's another 2 bones sandwiching the grommets right there. So you can see 1, 2, 3. And like I said before, there is that flat steel bone by the busk to help further reinforce it. Here's a close-up of the grommets. There are a total of 32 of them. They are 2-part, size 00, and finished in black, and they are set mostly equidistantly, except for at the waistline where they're set just a tiny bit closer together, probably to help with the cinching at the waistline here. I find that none of them are falling out, and I recognize these as being my favorite style of grommets that a lot of American corsetteers use. And moving the Modesty placket aside, this is what the back of the grommets look like. There are virtually no splits in these. They don't catch on the laces. I don't see them coming loose, or I don't see any fraying around these grommets at all. And the laces here were actually yet another upgrade from the original owner. So these are the very long and super strong polypropylene laces. So when I pull them taut, they are about 1/8 of an inch wide. They are virtually impossible to break. They're extremely strong. They have almost no stretch to them, and they grip very well. They hold the bows quite nicely. So these laces are recommended for any corsets where you intend to waist train. The price for the Abigail 2 Underbust Corset starts at $377 if you want it standard sized, and if you prefer custom sized, then the price is $481. So this concludes my review of the Abigail 2 Underbust Corset made by Sugarkitty Corsets. I hope you found this review informative and entertaining. If you did like it, then please remember to click that like button, as it helps support this channel. If you have any comments or questions about this particular corset or about Sugarkitty in general, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'd be happy to answer any questions I can, or I can forward any questions to Sugarkitty. This might be the last video that I upload before Christmas, so if so, then I'm wishing you all safe and happy holidays, wishing you good health and good cheer for 2014, although I'm pretty sure I'll upload a video before the new year. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for an amazing 2013, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.